with Nike?
Yeah, Nike.
Okay.
It could be any of those turnarounds, but like Nike's the big one.
I mean, I just think continuing to like focus on, I think their partnerships are honestly like the most important thing for Nike. If they just keep those partnerships, I think continue to expand in like all facets with Caitlin Clark. I believe they have a partnership. I think that could be big. Just continue to expand internationally with sports internationally as well. I think obviously just continuing to, I think they're directing more in terms of wholesale. As long as they can keep their spot as the #1 athletic apparel brand in the long run and continue to sell obviously shoes, jerseys, continue to stay on top of partnerships, I think they're going to do well. And in terms of a turnaround, I think their margins decreased largely due to their inventory issues, which I think they are resolving. Their inventory has like gone down recently, and they're going to be able to like gain some of their pricing power back on their products. And if they can get those margins up, start growing the revenue again, I think the company can turn around quite swiftly. Maybe in like the 2 to 3 years, I could not like a full turnaround, but 2 to 3 years, I could see them doing a lot better. But yeah.
Okay, so you're saying like they need like 2 years to actually make the required improvements in the business and to show that the turnaround is working. Why not buy in 2 years when the stock is probably going to be lower, and then you can still be #1 in a category and still shrink in size. And then I guess
yeah, sure.
There just to start getting out of the way. Thank you for letting me on. And then Dividend probably had something else to say there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're going to shrink in size. I think, like I said, I think the most important thing for them is the partnerships.
Wait. You say you don't think they're going to shrink in size. They are actively losing sales.
Well, we're talking about in the future right now.
No. I'm saying like you're projecting into the future, and you've typically been like behind the wall on this, behind the ball on this. They've been losing sales for a while now. Why should I believe, based on like the last few years of performance, that's just going to increase? There's literally not a single metric pointing to that. Like, there's not a single one.
Like I said, I think as long as they leverage their partnerships, obviously the thing with, I think Caitlin Clark unlocks a whole new avenue. I think it unlocks a whole new avenue with them.
Like that.
These other companies don't have these partnerships with Caitlin Clark or these top sports leagues. And like I said, I think in the long run, Nike's going to persevere in terms of being the brand most closely associated with sports. And I think it's always going to stay that way. And, market share fluctuations or sales fluctuations, I think in the long run are not going to like matter that much. I think, they could go down in market share, they could go up in market share. My thesis is fairly simple, and I've kept repeating the same thing. As long as they stay the brand most closely associated with sports, I think they're going to have that brand power. They're going to have that pricing power on their products.